Welcome to Alaska, where nature thrives in its most untouched form. Join us on a journey through its rugged landscapes and revel in the vibrant wildlife that define this extraordinary land. Alaska is filled with breathtaking landscapes, rushing rivers, and glacial lakes. The bald eagle, sacred to indigenous peoples, soars high above the untouched forest that stretch as far as the eye can see. One never knows what you might find around the next corner. It might be a moose protecting a young calf, the deep blue of an enormous glacier, or a gigantic grizzly bear fishing for salmon in a cold glacial stream. Alaska is a land of small, isolated communities and magnificent landscapes. Experience the wild heart of Alaska. Your adventure begins now. The jumping off point of this expedition was Fairbanks in central Alaska, along the banks of the Channel River. When we arrived, smoke from distant wildfires permeated the air. Denali lay 120 miles to the southwest. At the entrance to Denali National Park, fires had closed the park entrance and forced hundreds of tourists to evacuate to as far away as Seattle. The sky was filled with smoke and firefighting aircraft. We were to spend 2 days at the Backcountry Lodge, located 92 miles from the entrance at the end of the only road into the park. However, ground travel to the lodge was cut off in 2021 when a massive landslide blocked the road about 44 miles inside the park. Today, access is only possible by air. The park is dominated by the towering presence of Denali, North America's tallest peak, standing at over 20,000 feet. However, our view of Denali was masked by smoke and clouds throughout our stay, yet there was still a lot to see. After Denali, we traveled to Anchorage and then on to Seward on a train offering breathtaking views of the rugged and pristine wilderness of the Kenai Peninsula. The glass-top carriage provided unobstructed views of the landscape, allowing one to take in the full splendor of Alaska's natural beauty. Initially, the train took us alongside Turnagain Arm, a narrow waterway surrounded by towering mountains. Further along the route, the train winds through dense forests and opens up to expansive vistas of snow-capped mountains and alpine meadows. Glaciers glisten in the distance, their icy blue hues contrasting with the greenery of the forests. In the midst of Resurrection Bay, just south of Seward, lies Fox Island, where we spent the next 2 nights. Other than the resort staff, our small group of 15 were the only humans spending the night on this private paradise. The next day was spent on a small boat traveling from Fox Island to Holgate Glacier through the pristine waters and breathtaking scenery of Alaska's Kenai Fjords National Park. A voyage from Fox Island to Holgate Glacier on a small boat is not just a voyage, but an unforgettable adventure through one of Alaska's most spectacular wilderness areas, filled with wildlife and stunning vistas. As you near the glacier, the air cools noticeably as you approach its towering wall of ice. The glacier itself stretches down from the Harding ice field, creating a dramatic backdrop against the fjord. As we left the glacier, we stumbled on a sea otter enjoying a meal of sea cucumber. The walls of the inlet housing Holgate Glacier was lined with additional glaciers and some impressive waterfalls. Homer, often referred to as the halibut fishing capital of the world, is a picturesque town located on the southern tip of the Kenai Peninsula. Known for its stunning natural beauty, vibrant arts community, and abundant marine wildlife. Just for some perspective, Homer has a population of about 6,000, which places it number 10 on the list of Alaska's largest cities. We stayed at Land's End, located at the tip of the Homer Spit, a narrow 5-mile-long strip of land jutting into Kachemak Bay, lined with shops, restaurants, fishing charters, and the iconic Salty Dog Saloon, an historic bar and gathering place. The view from our hotel was spectacular. Living in the lower 48, it's hard to imagine a world without roads, where access to your community is only possible via air or sea. That's true of many communities in Alaska. Seldovia is a prime example. After another boat ride, we arrived in this community of 300, nestled on the shores of Kachemak Bay, south of Homer, a serene and picturesque world where nature and small-town charm blend seamlessly.
It looks like it's sort of
During our stay on or around the Kenai Peninsula, we visited art studios in both Homer and Seldovia. The Dean Homestead in Homer is a trip, a study in self-reliance and beautiful art, while Melissa Higman's isolated studio in Seldovia showcases her work with paper and watercolors. King Salmon lies almost 200 miles southwest of Homer across Cook Inlet and just outside the Katmai National Park. After flying from Homer to King Salmon on the Alaska Peninsula, we then traveled 40 miles by float plane to Brooks Falls within Katmai National Park. The journey itself offered stunning aerial views of the rugged and remote Alaskan landscape. Upon arrival, we had to attend Bear School, a briefing on safety protocols and park regulations. After graduating, we were free to roam the park, but always encouraged to sing, talk, or simply make noise to alert the bears of our presence. From July through September, the bears congregate at Brooks Falls to catch spawning sockeye salmon as they leap up the falls to reach their spawning grounds. It's a mesmerizing sight to see these powerful creatures poised on the edge of the falls, patiently waiting for their next meal. Our visit did not disappoint. It was extraordinary how many bears we saw at the falls and wandering freely throughout the camp area. A day at Brooks Falls is not just about observing wildlife. It's about connecting with nature in one of its most pristine and raw forms, leaving you with profound appreciation for the wilderness and its inhabitants. Brooks Falls was a spectacular climax to an extraordinary travel adventure. Our Alaska Odyssey ranks right up there with our favorite trips of all time.